I'm here at FinTech Connect, and joining me now is John Kurton and Richard Osborne from PiP Global. So John, I'm going to start with you. What exactly is PiP Global?
Okay, PiP. So what we're a cash loading B2B platform. We give consumers the ability to pay cash into our network to pay for a variety of goods and services. Unlike traditional remittance markets, where remittance companies can charge upwards of 10%, 12% in some cases, PiP Global keeps its transaction fees at a low cost. So we're not exploiting those traditional remittance channels. We keep our costs very low. To give you an example of one of those services is international bill pay. So we have a relationship with a number of different bill payers across the world. If I take Nigeria, for example, we have a client called Hygieia. They are Nigeria's largest health insurance, and they've just launched a product at the moment which allows Nigerians living in the UK the ability to make a payment to Nigeria through our network, which allows Nigerians to get medical insurance in Nigeria. How that works is on the Hygieia website, you'd be able to choose a payment option, and that payment option would be PiP. You'd click on the payment option. Within the website or within the app, a barcode is generated. That barcode then can be presented to a UK post office. We have 11,500 of those in the UK. The barcode is presented to the cashier, it's scanned, the money is deposited with the post office, and then that money then is sent across to Hygieia, and that insurance policy is then up and running.
So John, what exactly is the differences between your service and other remittance services?
So quite simply, the difference between our services, once cash is lodged into our platform, it is sent, 100% of that money goes to pay the bill. Traditional remittances channels is that you can send money across the world wherever you want. The receiver has to go to that collection office, pick the money up. Our statistics show that not 100% of that money is used to pay the bill. It sometimes can be used for other things. So what happens is the bill remains unpaid. And once the bill has remained unpaid, a phone call comes the next day and we have to remit more money. So having PiP as integrated with lots of different bill payers across the globe is 100% of that money is paid against the bill.
And in terms of security, some people might see this as a way of money laundering. What would you say to them?
What we say to that is that the relationship with Hygieia, for instance, you have to set up an account with Hygieia, and the money that is sent to Hygieia goes straight against the insurance policy. So there's no way that there's any slippage of money ending up in other people's hands. It's direct to an account number, and it's direct to Hygieia.
And Richard, over to you. And why do you think online cash transactions are needed in this digital age?
Well, I think a lot of many different parts of the world have unbanked and underbanked customers out there. The only mechanism that they've got to engage with the sort of digital age is cash, and there's no way of actually loading cash into the digital economies that exist. So that the beauty of PiP is that we sort of look at, and PiP is a sort of founded on a sort of concept of being a social impact company. So we're looking to bring and include underbanked and unbanked individuals into the digital age so that they can actually transact, so that we can sort of bring them in and have them part of the ecosystem.
So talk me through your cross-border payment service.
So in terms of that, as John said, we work a lot with e-commerce companies and have a lot of interest in that sphere. So again, to use a sort of migrant overseas example, maybe you have a Ghanaian living in somewhere like Germany who wants to actually buy some products for their family back home in Ghana. So they'll actually be able to log on to an e-commerce system, find and use PiP as a payment method, pay with cash, and that actually gets delivered back home in Ghana.
So Richard, finally, how do you see this technology developing?
Well, again, PiP is all about collaboration. So we basically look for partnerships and begin to expand our network and have more collection partners around the world, so we can expand the sort of opportunities for customers overseas and also bring more clients on. I mean, we've expanded from our bedrock of bill pay into things like e-wallets and e-commerce, and having people who can actually top up bank accounts back home as well. So we'll sort of continue that idea of collaboration and just engage with emerging technologies and just grow the network.
And John, to you as well, how has this technology been received and how do you see it developing?
It's great at the moment. As Richard mentions, we are growing our network all the time. We're looking to expand into lots of new territories. A new territory for us usually means a new country. So we will go into that country, we'll find a collection partner, and then we will work with that collection partner. We'll look for billing partnerships within that country as well. So we can, and let's take an example of Kenya again, we can look to find and work with Kenyans who've migrated, who want to pay family and friends bills back at home. And we can work with their marketing departments and our marketing department to try and find those Kenyans to be able to allow them to make payments back home.
John, Richard, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jenny.